Well, does work. To be totally honest, that's one of the reasons I stayed here. Is the market, especially like in the Baltimore, Washington, and the entire like Northeast corridor. There's just so much work for musicians, for artists, especially in this area here, because there are so many like big or middle-sized cities that all want an orchestra and that they all want arts happening in their town. So I mean, it's basically one of the running gag we have as a musician is like, for your instrument to not find work in a Washington, Baltimore area. Really, it's like, And so basically that's the main difference for me, is that I can like thrive here, make a living playing the violin, which is something I would have had a very, very, very difficult time doing in Montreal, especially since I left when I was so young and never built up contacts and relationships up there. ഞാൻ മദാമ്മയൊന്നും അല്ല കേട്ടോ, ഗോവക്കാരിയുമല്ല, നല്ല ഒന്നാന്തരം തൊടുപുഴക്കാരിയാണ്. കൃത്യമായി പറഞ്ഞാൽ കലയന്താനിയിലാണ് എൻ്റെ വീട്. Well, I'm from Kalayantani, located just 10 kilometers away from Thodupuzha. പിന്നെ ഞാനെങ്ങനെ ഇത്ര ഭംഗിയായി ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് സംസാരിക്കുന്നുവെന്ന് നിങ്ങൾ കരുതുന്നുണ്ടാവും. അതിൻ്റെ രഹസ്യമാണ് ഞാൻ പറയാൻ പോകുന്നത്. ശ്രദ്ധിച്ച് കേൾക്കണേ. ഞാൻ CMI വൈദികരുടെ സ്ഥാപനമായ കാമൽ CMI ഇൻസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ടിലെ വിദ്യാർത്ഥിനിയാണ്. അതാണ് ആ രഹസ്യം. When it comes to English, follow the champions. Kamal CMI, better than the best.
Hi, this is Salma Vepari.
Hi, this is Sylvia Ferreira.
And together we are called as Sal.
We are from the place of sands and beaches, Goa.
Well, I'm precisely from Kansalam, which is just 15 kilometers away from Margam station.
I'm also from Goa, the famous place of Vasco da Gama.
Our expertise lies in English pronunciation and fluency. We are currently instructors of Kamal CMI IELTS Center, which is situated at Muvattupuzha, in Kerala. The topic of the day is musicality of English. Please zero in on the board. Let me ask my students to read it.
I am Jinsi Varghese from Pathanamthitta.
I am Julie Varghese from Panamkoti.
Pardon?
Panamkoti.
Panam?
Kuti?
From Adimani.
Adimali? I know. You mean to say the dreamland of tourists?
Wow, that is cool. Well, dear Jinsi, would you just read what is written on the board?
Can I also learn musicality?
Why not? Not only you, anybody can master this sweet musicality of English. For that, step 1, please look at the board. What do you see? Yes, there are 3 dots. 1, 2 and 3. Well, these dots refer to syllable. And if you want to master musicality, primarily you should learn to speak in syllable.
Syllable? What do you mean?
Well, I'll teach you eventually. For time being, just know that each syllable is a beat. I mean a rhythmic beat or a musical note. And for that matter, these dots are musical notes. This is how we get wavy speaking style of intonation. Now read after me. Musicality.
Musicality. Wow, that's great.
Well, don't jump the gun. We have miles to go before we sleep, right? So let's come to the next step. Let me ask you, what's this? A short line over here. That's called stress mark. Well, I'll tell you what stress mark is. It's a long topic. Oh well, when you see a stress mark, your pitch goes higher and longer on that particular syllable. So let's take musicality. Well, it's a long topic. To summarize, when you see a stress mark, your pitch goes higher and longer on that particular syllable. But let's take musicality. It's got 4 syllables. Where does the stress fall? Musicality. 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 Yes, it's on the third syllable. Now read after me.
Musicality.
So similarly, it's not English, on the other hand, it's English. To put it in a nutshell, fluent English speech is expertly timed and it's done spontaneously. Well, I mean the stress and rhythm should not be forced. On the other hand, it should readily occur. Well, how do you achieve this spontaneity? It's best achieved through your sincere, committed, relentless hard work. I mean, you should spend awful lot of time pronouncing louder what I teach. Mind you should teach your speech organ. Watch carefully your speech organs. And not your brain alone. Believe me, any neglect of this particular feature will result in jumbled speech. I mean, your speech will go flat, choppy, mechanical, or extremely confusing. No wonder the listeners won't understand a thing. But on the other hand, if you follow my classes regularly, I'll teach you the secret of the sweet musicality. And in turn, your speech would sound more persuasive, confident and dynamic. So master this art of musicality. Well, I'm pretty sure that you are able to conquer this fluent, fluid and semi-musical white English. Do you think that English people are the only privileged few in terms of speaking fluent English? Absolutely not. Precisely because all of us, regardless of being Indian or Western, are born with the same physiological capabilities of producing all sounds of all the languages in the world. If so, why do you hesitate? Come on, let's join hands with IELTS CMI International English Zone.
പ്രിയ സുഹൃത്തെ, താങ്കളുടെ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ താങ്കളുടെ മകന്റെയോ മകളുടെയോ അതുമല്ലെങ്കിൽ താങ്കളുടെ സുഹൃത്തിന്റെയോ IELTS സ്പോക്കൺ ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് പഠനങ്ങൾ തിരുവനന്തപുരം മുതൽ കാസർഗോഡ് വരെയുള്ള വിദ്യാർത്ഥികൾ പഠിക്കുന്ന അന്തസ്സുറ്റ കലാലയത്തിലാകട്ടെ. IELTS CMI better than the best.
IELTS CMI IELTS Center is noted for its student-centered and professional English training. സംശയമുണ്ടോ? ഇതാ ഞങ്ങളുടെ വിദ്യാർത്ഥികൾ സംസാരിക്കുന്നത് ശ്രദ്ധിക്കുക.
Well, I like academic atmosphere here. Since I teach at university, I think I benefit a lot from the academic atmosphere. There is a lot of resources here, easy access to grants, money. Even though, of course, we complain all the time, there is not enough money, not enough support. But of course, if you compare the situation here to the situation in other countries in Europe, there is a lot of resources here for research, and also I like the flexibility. In fact, that the people are just so free to move around. They get tired of their job, whatever, no problem, they just move to another place, they start another job. And also I like that kind of flexibility. And I think in Europe in general, the people are more, the mentality is okay. Once you buy your house, that's where you die. You don't really move around that much.
Another thing is the traffic here. Just have to contend with the cars and a couple of bicycles. But in Guyana, we have got to contend with the cars, pedestrians, bicyclists, and most people ride a bicycle in Guyana. Yes, most people ride a bicycle, and there is something we call a donkey cart, which is something like a flatbed truck, and instead of being pulled by a car like in front, which is pulled by a donkey, and they also have the right for the way too and for the streets too. So that's something I go home and keep wondering, how can I even drive Guyana before? Because I know I can't drive even now, so
Well, that's an interesting subject there. I remember a time we never locked our doors. I lived in a town called Lowell for a while. Even back then, we never locked our doors because nobody didn't have to worry about anybody breaking your house or doing anything. In the farms, we'd go for a weekend and we never locked our doors. And as a kid, I remember the age of 6 or 7 hitchhiking down the road during World War II. We'd go for quick to use a swimming pool. And we didn't think anything about hitchhiking. We didn't worry about some dude picking you up and molesting you or anything like that. Just didn't hear about that back then. And then over the years, you just see pretty soon everybody locks their doors again. They got 3 or 4 locks in their doors. Their kids can go out, play in their yards like that they could back in my day. And their parents just have to watch them every minute.
My mother wanted me to be a doctor. I don't know the temperament for it, want to be a doctor, but at the same time, a really good wife. And I think my mom was kind of just toying those, in 2 ways, and it was idea that your mother, wife, that was, number one. She just says, she just things were different when she was younger, because it was a bit harder. My nieces, I think my sister didn't have to worry. Because I think my one niece has a pretty good head on her shoulders, and thought it was an easy class, something just kind of interesting, like that. But she's pretty focused, and I think she won't have that guilt. My mom certainly had, and I had a little bit of that, being Catholic. That's something you deal with, and also with the women. I think there's this. But I think it's good because there were parents that are contemporaries of mine, like their parents didn't want them to be doctors, they want them to be nurses, My mom, at least my parent and my dad, will be a doctor. Just be a good wife. So.
Okay. Mathematicians won the war. Mathematicians broke the Japanese code and built a bomb. Mathematicians like you. The stated goal of Soviets is global communism. In medicine or economics, in technology or space, but lines are being drawn. To triumph, we need results, publishable, applicable results. Now, who among you will be the next Morse, the next Einstein? Who among you will be the vanguard of democracy, freedom, and discovery? Today, we bequeath India's future into your able hands. Welcome to IELTS CMI, ladies and gentlemen.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew, chapter 28, verses 1 to 8. After the Sabbath, at dawn on the first day of the week, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary went to look at the tomb. There was a violent earthquake, for an angel of the Lord came down from heaven and going to the tomb, rolled back the stone and sat on it. His appearance was like lightning, and his clothes were white as snow. The guards were so frightened of him that they shocked and became like dead men. The angel said to the woman, "Do not be afraid, for I know that you are looking for Jesus who was crucified. He is not here. He has risen just as he said. Come and see the place where he laid. Then go quickly and tell his disciples. He has risen from the dead and is going ahead of you into Galilee. There you will see him. Now I have told you." So the women hurried away from the tomb, afraid yet filled with joy, and ran to tell his disciples.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark, chapter 16, verses 1 to 8. When the Sabbath was over, Mary Magdalene, Mary, the mother of James, and Salome bought spices so they might go to anoint Jesus' body. Very early on the first day of the week, just after sunrise, they were on the way to the tomb, and they asked each other, "Who will roll the stone away from the entrance of the tomb?" But when they looked up, they saw that the stone, which was very large, had been rolled away. As they entered the tomb, they saw a young man dressed in a white robe sitting on the right side, and they were alarmed. Don't be alarmed, he said. You're looking for Jesus the Nazarene who was crucified. He has risen. He is not here. See the place where they laid him. But go, tell his disciples and Peter, he is going ahead of you into Galilee. There you will see him, just as he told you. Trembling and bewildered, the women went out and fled from the tomb. They said nothing to anyone because they were afraid.
നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഒന്നാമത് ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് സംസാരിക്കാൻ വരുന്നുണ്ടോ? Join us, Carmel CMI, better than the best.
Contact us on www.carmelcmi.com. Our phone number is 9544544453. Bye bye for now.